Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today we're going to do advertising versus reality with the Ecovacs T80 robot vacuum cleaner. So the ad shows it can pick up like a spilt coffee mix. Here I've got a spilt drink. We're going to see if it actually uses its artificial intelligence to recognize this drink and do a mopping only event. Now it claims it have a sensor on here that it can detect when there's a spilt liquid. Now this robot has a mop roller which should be able to pick up that mess. It also claims that it can keep its mop roller cleaner than I've never seen that on spinning mop pads that bad, but we'll see. Here's kind of where it's showing mopping up that mess. But here's what I'm really after, stain aware. Detects significant stains and executes a targeted cleaning. Now in the Ecovacs app, I will be using the intelligence hosting. That's the artificial intelligence. I will be doing I got the lab AI detection stain on. Not sure I got there's intelligent hosting is on. Okay, let's go tell it to clean that area. We're in AI. Oh, that's right. I gotta do the whole home clean. So it's going to do my entire house in intelligent hosting. That's the first room it's going to clean. So I just hit start. It's going to wash the mop pad and fill the robot up with water. So it's going to fill the internal water tank up with water inside the robot. It could, if your mop roller is not wet, it's going to wash the mop roller. Yeah. Now this is part of a brand new series that I'm doing, advertising versus reality. I purchased these robot vacuum cleaners with my own money. That way I can give you my honest opinion. I think we need to hold them accountable. If we see something in an advertisement, I'm going to try to duplicate it as good as I can. And since I buy these robots with my own money, I'm not paid, I'm not sponsored, I can say whatever I want about them. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on this robot. Now, this is all part of the testing I do, but the main testing I do is I take these robots to my home and I test them for 3 months. I actually live with them. And if it actually cleans my home and I don't feel like I want to throw it out the window, it's going to get a pretty good score. Here's my scoring sheet that I fill out after 3 months. I tell you the cost of use per month. After that, it'll either get a sticker that says, Just a Dad approved, buy it now, Just a Dad, wait for a deal, or it'll be skip it. Here we've got like the Eufy E25. I lived with it for 3 months, got some notes on it. It's a wait for a deal. But if you want to find the robots that have passed all my testing and are buy it now, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. The Mova P10 Pro was my 2025 pick of the year. Now, if you purchase anything off my website, I do use links. If you click on the link, the product doesn't cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. Okay, let's get started. We're also going to check its corner cleaning capabilities. It's going to travel to this room. It's going to do the perimeter of the room first. Now it is vacuuming and mopping. Since it's in artificial intelligence, it's in charge of putting down how much water. It does have a mop pad that extends up against the wall. Can't quite get everything in the corner. But it does a pretty good job of getting stuff. Okay, it's identified that stain. Whoa. Oh, what? Okay. I would have liked for it to turn that side brush off, but I think we're in a mopping only event. It definitely identified that. Okay, so I think we're in our square. It's doing the square cleaning. Not too bad at picking that coffee up. Yeah, it's definitely mopping only. Okay. That's good. It does have an onboard water tank. That mop roller is picking up the debris and putting it in its dirty water tank. We are getting some juice. I like to call it, some dirty water juice when it turns. But we'll see. This is just its first pass. We're going to see what it does. It should go back and wash that mop roller and empty the dirty water tank. Now the side brush did still spin, and it is spinning now. Now they have an Ecovacs T80S that apparently can lift that side brush, which is definitely a must. All right, so we're getting the crisscross pattern now, looks like. It identified the spill. It made like a square around it. It went left, right. Now it's going up, down. Now the floor is not clean. It may look clean, but it's it did kind of spread the coffee a little bit, but we're going to see the final result. We're going to let it do its thing, and then we'll check it at the very end. Because there is definitely some juice right here.
To wash the roller.
Okay, that's a good sign. It's going to wash the mop roller. A little bit of juice, tracking. This is for another test. It's going around it. That's awesome. So now it's going to wash that mop roller and fill the robot up with water. Now it never puts an icon.
Start washing the roller mop with hot water.
It never puts an icon on the map to let you know that it identified something, but you can tell by the cleaning pattern. Okay, so it washed the mop. Now it's coming back to clean that area, hopefully. A little bit of juice there. Okay, so it's traveling back to this room. Okay, looks like it's going to pick up right where it left off in this square. It's doing a mopping only event. All right, I think the floor is getting a lot cleaner now. We're going to check it for stickiness. That's the true indicator. But I'm going to just leave it alone, let it do its thing. I'm not going to get too close to it. And we're also going to see if it vacuumed up any of that mess, or if it got any of that water on the brush roller. Okay, looks like it's doing another square pattern. Now, there is no way to manually do a mopping only event. There is no button in the app for that. The artificial intelligence sensor has to sense it and then go into the event itself. I do wish these robots would let us do mopping only events, but some don't.
Returning to wash the roller
Okay,
mop.
that's good. So it did the second square box crisscross pattern, and it's going back to wash them up. That's what I want. Because when I want it to, when it senses a spill, I want it to really wash this area, which does seem to be pretty washed. Now the true test, it may come back and do this again, but so far, Yeah, pretty good, actually. I don't sense any, no, little bit of film here, but it may do another pass, so we'll just see. All right, it's washing the mop roller with hot water. Okay, so now it's going back to wash that or mop that room again. That's going to be for another test I'm doing for dried on stains. So far, so good. Now, I would think it's just going to pick up where it left off earlier. Yeah, it's vacuuming and mopping now. Good, that worked good. Now, there is no corner cleaning. It's not bad in the corner, just it doesn't get all the way in. It doesn't have a side brush that reaches or anything. It does a good job of going under furniture. And hopefully it's going to just go back over that whole area while it does this room with a fresh, cleaned mop roller. Did it recognize a stain? It shut the vacuum off. I'm not sure why. It's trying to go out between the legs. There it comes. It turned the mop roller off too. I'm not sure why. All right, now we're back. So I would say that has been working so far. That's been working. That's interesting. It just cleaned a little bit right there. Now it's washing the mop roller again. It literally just went from there to there, did a little something there, and now it says it's washing the mop roller again. I don't like that. Then now we're starting to use too much water. Now, be a little leery of these ads. This is liquid. That really makes a spinning mop pad look bad whenever it's doing liquid. Mop rollers do liquid better. We have the 16x down pressure, which they don't, it just says compared, well, which, they don't tell us what the 16x is. Okay, so it washed the mop again. It's coming back. Okay, so it's traveling back to this room. It sounds like it's in a mopping only event. So for some reason it didn't like, I think it's in a mopping only event. It's a little hard to tell. I'm just going by sound. Now there's no stain or mud over here. Yeah, we're in a mopping only event. So maybe the shadows of the wood it didn't like. So maybe not a, this is what I remember about my early Ecovacs. When they were in their artificial intelligence mode, now that did an excellent job with that. But now on perfectly normal floors, it looks like it might be struggling. Or not. Maybe it's just doing the whole room. It's really hard to tell if it's vacuuming and mopping. That's a mopping only event. I'm just positive. Yeah. Maybe this is part of its cleaning strategy. It seems a little off. Again, they tell us very little about this logarithm. We just don't, they just expect us to trust this AI. You know, it's easy to trust if we know what it should be doing, but if we don't know what it should be doing, then, you know, that's where I want more information, because yeah, maybe this is exactly what it should be doing, but it seemed off to me. So I mean, let's pretend now it's doing a mopping event for the whole room, which, okay. You found a spill, you cleaned the spill, now you're doing a mopping only event. And then will you come back now and do, because I originally told you to do a vacuum and mopping event for this room. So we'll let it run out. Again, I don't know. And the Ecovacs app doesn't tell us much. It's definitely in a mopping only event still. You just don't get much information. There's no like timeline. You know, I like Roborock where it tells you what it's doing. Dreamy has a timeline. I like when it identifies on the map a stain with a symbol. I mean, that one thing's for sure, this room will be, the mopping is, you know, the floor will be clean, which is what you want. Sometimes the symbols will tell us what it's doing, but we really don't like, it'll say mopping only, vacuuming. So I will say that the floor is going to be clean. It had a little bit of, yeah, okay, so maybe it had a little bit of film over here before it went and did this second. No, the floor is clean. No stickiness.
Let's start washing the roller mop with hot water.
Filling the water up with water. It's not turning the mop roller yet. Now it's turning it. Okay, it's traveling back to this room. It does like to hit those chair legs. I have seen it move this a little bit in my earlier testing. Yeah, it's really moving it now. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I mean, it can back up.
Bumper stuck. Please gently tap the bumper and make sure it bounces back. Bumper stuck.
Oh, it was stuck. Okay.
Please gently tap the bumper and make sure it bounces back.
Okay, it just... That was unexpected. All right, I gotta hit continue here. It is really trying to go underneath that chair or that seat. It just won't leave this area alone. Sounds like a mopping only event still, which...
Returning to wash the roller mop.
That's crazy. No, that it literally traveled over here, got stuck, maybe mopped a little area right here for 3 seconds, and now it's going back to this. This isn't good. Again, not knowing what its brain is thinking, it's definitely not thinking right. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's start washing the roller mop with hot water.
Okay, I've kind of lost track, but it's back.
Returning to wash the roller mop.
What? What? It literally just watched the mop roller, traveled here, and just said, I gotta go wash the mop roller again. Nah, something's wrong. I'm not gonna use intelligent hosting. It's not right. Returning to auto clean. Yeah, that's, I don't know, the 5th, 6th time I've had to fill the clean water tank up.
Washing the roller mop.
So I would have expected it maybe to have to learn this room a couple. I've had it clean this room a couple times now, so there's something off. I didn't mind the mopping the whole room. That seemed like it might use a little extra water. I prefer just when it does the square where the stain was. Go wash, do that a crisscross pattern. Go wash the mop roller. Come back, do it again, and then that. But this cleaning the whole room with the mop, I was okay with that. Now we've done, and I didn't interrupt it. Like, I know it got caught. The bumper got caught on that. That shouldn't affect something. I should be able to unstick it and then hit continue. I didn't start a whole new cleaning process, but this traveling back and forth, cleaning the mop, coming back and doing a very little cleaning, and that there's something wrong. Okay, what is this, the 6th or 7th time? But it is fixated on getting this area clean over here. Okay, are we back to vacuuming and mopping? I think so. Yes, it's vacuuming and mopping. It's trying to back up into that area. I didn't even say anything what it's doing now. I don't know. This is this. Okay, so it's going into the second room. Okay, so that room's done. This, I did have it do my whole house, and this is the second room. This was going to be the second test. So it has definitely identified that. This was going to be the pressure test that's dried on. You know, what is 6X spinning mop pads? So we'll come back to the other room. It's done. This is the second room. Looks like it made a box around it, maybe. It is in a mopping only event. That's a pretty dry, that's mud. It's not too bad, actually.
Returning to wash the roller.
Okay. Now, it did smear the mud. Like, it did pick it up, but the brush roller still had some on it. But it's going to go back. I may have to fill tanks up. It's going to wash the mop roller for like the 8th, 9th time. Now, back to this room. So, it basically was just trying to finish up this little area. This room is clean, except for the corner. You know, I don't feel like it vacuumed this area after it kind of did its thing. So it started off vacuuming, mopping, went into a mopping only event, did a little bit more vacuuming, but then it just kind of went into a mopping only the rest of this room, which, okay, I'm somewhat okay with that. This is definitely clean. I don't see anything. It definitely struggled with under furniture, recognizing maybe a shadow as a stain. Then this was the second room. So if we look here, I did tell it to clean this room, and then I told that's the second room in the cleaning. And it did identify it. Okay, let's wash the mop again. Mopping only. Okay, that's what we want. It's doing the crisscross pattern again. Mopping only. That floor is really clean. Did get a cut one drop. Not too worried about that. I'm examining this floor. It's in really good shape.
Returning to wash the Roborock.
Okay, that's what I would expect. Very clean. Even got the crevice clean. Or the,
Roller mop with hot water.
Yep, it's clean. Okay, it cleaned the mop roller again, and now it's headed back. So, okay, it's vacuuming and mopping now. And that is the perimeter of the room. I made it a small room. So it's doing the perimeter of the room. Okay, it just stopped. So I paused. I should just leave it running, but it got right here and it just stopped and it went into a mopping only event, maybe? Something. It's definitely mopping only. There's no dirt here. It's too sensitive. I am not recommending the artificial intelligence. It literally was on track to do like a vacuum and mop, but then it went into this event. Yeah, it thinks there's dirt here. doing a little crisscross pattern in this little area. Again, it was going around, and then it, you know, what I've learned is, see when the line is thick, that's vacuum and mop. When the line is light, like it is right now, that's mopping only. And if we look over here, see that was, well, that doesn't necessarily the case. But you can see the lines are really lightly colored. That means it was mopping only. And it only did a vacuum and mop around the perimeter. And that's what it's doing now. It's doing this. Okay, so we gotta see if this. Yeah, this is typical. This is what I remember about Ecovacs. Their artificial intelligence was just off a little bit. While it can be a good vacuum and mopping robot, there's no doubt about that. That thing was actually very good, and it did really good vacuuming over here in my test area. But this artificial intelligence is off.
Let's start washing the roller mop with...
Okay, so it's back in the same area doing a mopping event still. It's in a mopping only mode. I can tell it's not vacuuming. It's using a ton of water. I've had to fill this up once already. Again, this is all very confusing to me. If it's confusing to me, it's going to be confusing to somebody that's just gotten a robot. Do you turn it on? Do you leave it off? The deep mopping only works when this is on. None of this makes sense to me.
Wash the roller mop.
Yeah, so it's returning now for like the 10th time. See, this is only effective when intelligent host, when enabled the robot will automatic remop. So yeah, the remopping only works if this is on. Now, all my problems may be just from this, these lab features, which by now, should we be calling them lab features? I'm definitely gonna have to turn that off.
Washing the roller
But we've seen these lab features now for 2 years. At some point, it's got to not become a lab feature. I mean, have it as setting, but don't call it a lab feature. Lab makes me think that it's just way too early in the testing that they don't know if it's going to work or not, which is fine 2 years ago, but okay, dirty water tank's full. I ended the task. So we did get a dirt map, which is interesting. That room was dirty. We don't get trajectory map, tells us where it went. And maybe it would have came back to this room. I don't know. That would seem too odd to me. Let's go empty the dirty water. I'm gonna flip the robot over now. That is really dirty. I'm kind of upset about the AI mode, which that water's really hot too. Wow. That's probably, well, it just did so many different cleans. That water was really hot. I'll put my Effordent tablet in. All right, now we're ready to go. Let's flip the robot over, because there was also another advertisement that showed this one. Had me, I don't like that because that's pretty misleading, but let's see. Well, it's not as, I thought it was going to be a little dirtier. Maybe it's not as misleading as I thought. Oh yeah, so it didn't vacuum up any dirt. Okay, that's good. While it is pretty cool how this like spins in the mud, but then it eventually it cleans on its own. It doesn't say it can lift this. The T80S with an S on the end can lift this and this. And it's got a different comb, because this comb doesn't work real good for long hair. So this actually isn't too bad, actually. Not too bad. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, well, yeah, the dirty water tank got full, so it wasn't able to finish the job, which that's not on. That's not on the robot. Yeah. Yeah, let's
Roller mop is released. Roller mop removed.
it's pretty clean. It's not sparkling clean. But I've never seen mop rollers. These ones, they can clean their mop rollers better than that. That's an exaggeration in my opinion. But that is a pretty clean mop roller. Okay, so you can bet I'm not going to be recommending this, turning that off. So let me know what you thought of this series. I never know exactly how these are going to turn out. I literally go into them blind. Like, if you show it in an ad, I don't do this ahead of time. Like, I don't do a trial run and then do it. Okay, so I'm starting my Ecovacs T80 3-month test. Right here's what I liked, what I didn't like. That AI dirt desensor, I won't be using that at my home. It's too sensitive. No corner cleaning. Hair wrap was not very good in the testing. So we'll see how the rest of this does. I did think it mops great, vacuums good if you don't have long hair. Ecovacs T80 spec sheet. This will be on my website, justadadapproved.com. $549 right now, which seems okay. It's okay for that price, I guess. It's definitely not $1,000 robot. 18,000 pounds in suction. Side reach for the mop roller. Basic side brush, single main brush. It does have an onboard camera, onboard water tank. Obstacle avoidance was very good so far. I got to test the threshold. It has an LED light. AI's dirt desensor is no good. 3/8 of an inch tall. It does use that dirty water tank was hot. So I'm definitely using hot water, 167, 113. Dirt detection sensor only works in the AI, artificial intelligence mode. No solution tank, tray removal, and not for homes with long hair. So I will be taking this to my house. Again, justadadapproved.com is where, after a robot has been to my house, like the Mova P10 Pro, that's where it shows up my picks. So robots that I say are good are going to have all the videos to back them up. They're going to have the unboxing, how to set it up, the compared to the next closest model, the 3-month real world test. Then I bring it to here and we do all the cleaning because there's maintenance on these. So that's all part of the scoring system. So after it passes all of that testing, now some of the early last year models, I didn't do the ad versus reality. I might go back and do that, but we've got a whole string of robots that just released here. And I'm going to start doing that on all the new robots. So the Curv, the Flow, the Curv 2, it did really good. That was a fun video. Go back and watch that. So again, justadadapproved.com. I got a new website coming. Right now it's real basic. It just has the robots I recommend with links to Amazon, but my new website's going to have more information for you. I want that to be the go-to place for robot vacuum cleaners. Common sense robot vacuum cleaner buying and testing, and kind of the features that I think are important. Like, is it good for homes with pets? Is it good for, just common sense things? I don't count particles. Did it clean my house? Well, we bring it back here and we cut the dust bag open. And if the dust bag's full, it did a good job of cleaning my house. So again, thanks everybody. Justadadapproved.com is where you can find all the robots that I approve of. Again, if you found this video helpful, hit the like, subscribe, leave in the comments what you thought of this. I know they get kind of long when things don't go right, and the Ecovacs was acting kind of funny, but maybe I shouldn't, Anyway, I had fun. I hope you had fun. If you could, please like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.